Wasn't really planning to stream this evening. However, it's a little warm, a little too warm for me to. The TV puts out a lot of heat, so I'm giving the TV in the house a bit of a break. I figured, you know what, I can do this. I can do a little streaming, and plus, it's a big day in that, and you know, I couldn't talk about this before really in full, but I now can. And I've mentioned bits and pieces of it in different places. You know, I've tweeted a little bit about it, that type of thing. But today is actually the unveiling of everything as far as the release of the Dominaria United expansion for Magic the Gathering. It was released today. I actually bought, this is the first Magic cards I've bought in my entire life. I bought some today. And to see if I could get some of my own cards. But yeah, I actually could not. I was under an NDA, an NDA that slowly eroded over time because basically Wizards of the Coast, who publishes Magic the Gathering, they basically had told me, I didn't realize, I actually had to look at this. I hadn't realized how long ago I started working on these cards. It was over a year ago. Let's take a look at something here and I'll tell you. When the date that I signed the NDA was, give me 1 second, I actually have a whole folder full of my stuff. I signed the NDA in, let's see, January, February, March, April, at the end of April of 2021. So over a year ago is when I signed the NDA to start the work. And the actual work really started in, I'm going to say, actually, it's just about a year. Let's see. I'm trying to see the first email where they actually sent me. Okay. Wow. Oh no, that was more than a year. Yeah. So I actually signed that. That was almost a year and a half. So June of 21 is when I actually got the first material. So that's when the work really started. And I could not talk about them in any real way until really, they started releasing certain things. They had published one of my cards, which was Sheoldred, the Apocalypse, although also known as Sheoldred, the Whispering One, so I assume that character has more than one name. But they had announced that as part of one of their, they announced Dominaria United a little while ago, and then they started kind of putting out preview information, that type of thing. And then they showed one of my cards, and now So then I was able to talk about that card, which I had posted, and I did, I think, a stream about that one. And then they actually put out, I'm going to say 4 or 5 days ago, but I didn't notice it, something like that. They put out they published all of the kind of rare cards, I guess, or the cards that were, I can't remember. I mean, they've been posting so much stuff, I don't remember all the titles. But anyway, they essentially revealed the other 2 cards that I had done. So really, as of 4 or 5 days ago, I could have been talking about this, but I wasn't aware of it because there's so much information, so many different places this stuff comes out that, I didn't know what was official and not, that type of thing. So as of today, the set is released. So at this point, I'm free to talk about it however I want because now you can actually just go get the cards. So I actually bought 3 sets of cards today, which are the first Magic cards I've ever bought in my life that I'm aware of. And just because I want to see if I get one of my cards. Because I didn't realize, I found out from somebody today who emailed me about getting a card signed, that apparently the cards are going to send me that I can sign, the artist-proof cards. Those are apparently not considered, quote, legal cards. So those are more of collector's items than anything else. Yeah, there's a lot to this, which I obviously don't understand much of. So I figured, okay, let me do a little stream, because I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Plus, it's about 105 degrees now, which is not great, but certainly not as bad as 115 that it was 2 days ago, so I'm really not going to complain. And it is going to get a lot cooler over the weekend. So let me get a drink of water really quick. Oh, man, nothing better than cold water on a hot day. So what I'm going to do here, I may do several things. But let's start out with something kind of neat for anybody who comes in here. Or who's in the what's the word for it? Anybody who's viewing right now, there we go, in the viewership at the moment. Let's go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. So I'm gonna show off, because what I'm doing is I'm going to take actually I'll go through it. I'll actually show you. because this gives you an idea of how things work. So for anybody who might be curious, I'll run through this for you. Okay, let's wait for that. It shouldn't take too long. I had to set up a link tree. I had to do a whole bunch of stuff today that I just had never really anticipated doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up Procreate here. So what I'm doing, so let me run through all this for you. All right, so here, let me turn this. Yeah, that should look a little better. Oh, well, sorry. Let me turn it this way. Take the pencil off. Let's turn that so it's, okay, so now you get a nice full screen. So this is the card art that is on the Sheoldred card. Now there's 3 different images, which is the Sheoldred one I just showed you. Where are the other 2? Okay, which would be this one. Yeah, this is Lagomas? I don't know. Interestingly, the name of this character changed between the time I started working on it and the time it was actually issued. So, different name. That's why if you look at the actual name there, it says Ignia Finals, because that was the character's name when I started working on it. And then the other one, where's the other one? Where is Elos? Where is Elos? Is Elos not on here? Oh, yeah, right there. Okay. And you can see how many versions of there are sitting right there. Okay, and then this is Elos. Again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these for anybody who might play Magic. I don't know the pronunciations. This is Elos Ilkor. That's the best pronunciation I'm going to come up with for this character. So each of these characters, if you look at this art, obviously it's formatted for a card. So it actually sits inside of a card. And if you to look the cards up, you would see that. I'm not going to do it now because I have to jump through 18 windows. But essentially, these are the finished arts that then sit in the card. And in actuality, in the card, they're, that big or so, depending on, I'm just trying to hold my hand up, probably about that big, maybe that big. But these images are roughly 11 or roughly 8 by 12, I think, because I had to go by their actual dimensions. Let's see, what are these actually? These are, there you go, 11 and a half, so 8.5 by 11, essentially. That's the size. So, but in general, you can see that this isn't really geared. Now, this one's going to be tricky, so I'm going to have to do a lot of engineering on this one, I can tell. But I have an idea of how to do it. But they're not really made to be translated to a t-shirt because, I could literally just take these, put a black border around them, and throw them on a shirt and say, there's your shirt, buy a shirt. But I wouldn't want a shirt that looks like that. I would want a shirt where it looks like the artwork is meant to be on the shirt, that it's kind of formatted properly. So, like I said, this one is going to be the trickiest one to adapt because I'm going to have to do a lot of kind of filling in and changing a few things, which is fine. I don't mind doing that, but it's going to take some work. So the other 2 are a little easier. For example, Ignia here, Lagamos. I'm basically going to use that chain as the framing device. I'm not really worried about losing the fire monsters. I think, they're certainly nice to have. But I think on the shirt, actually just having the character with the kind of volcanic stuff behind, I think that's fine. I don't think I need all that. And what turns out to be the easiest in some ways is Sheoldred, who I'm adapting here. So here again is the original. And I probably will do a color, because if you look, this was the original color variation before it got modified. Because they came back and said, no, we want the armor to be darker. We'd like the shell to be darker, which all is fine. They're very easy to work with. I don't want to make this sound bad. But this was the original color keying for that image because it's stained glass, and stained glass is often very bright and colorful. If you see stained glass, that's what it is. So I originally had gone with these big kind of loud colors because, again, at that size or so, you want things to kind of stand out. But they had come back and said, no, Sheoldred needs to be darker and more intense, more evil. And so this was the ultimate color scheme, which I think works great. I love black and red. It's a great, great color scheme. But that was where it ultimately ended up. So what I'm doing is I'm adapting that to a shirt design. And so I'm using the shells, which I had to redraw and redo all the shells. But essentially, let me turn some of these layers on so you can see them. You can see where I'm at with it. And I will have the purple shell version, so there will be a purple shell. I don't think I have the colors on. Hold on. Yeah, so I have to redo the colors, which is fine. That's easy. Or what I call bone there for some reason. I think because originally I was calling the shell bone. But let's turn the shell off. So essentially, I'm almost done. I had to redo all the glass because I had to move her. Because as you can see now, she's more centered. I know it's tough to see this when you don't see the original. But if you look here, and you see how she's positioned within the halos, she's pretty low. because for the card, that worked, and the shell was supposed to be a framing device. But for a shirt, I had to move her up, so you can see she's further up. The halos, sorry, this is the easiest way to tell. If you look there, the circular halos are evenly spaced. So if I just draw this very quickly so you can see what I'm talking about. Is that an empty? Oh, good, it's an empty layer. So let me use a big, let's use a paint. Right, so if you look at the circle here, it's evenly, that's a terrible circle I just drew. But if you look, it's evenly spaced to the other circle. You know what I mean? The spacing is equal because I like symmetry, so that was an easy one for me to do. But in the shirt design, that meant she was really low inside of here. She was way too far down. So, you know, she was probably, I don't think I have an empty layer on this one. Let me see. I don't think I do. Okay. She was about here head-wise, which makes no sense with a shirt. You want it to be symmetrical. You want it to be even. So I went, okay, and I had to move her. But by moving her, all the glass, which was very specifically placed, all was off. I think in one of the streams I kind of looked at this and I went, oh yeah, I got to redo it. I had to redo it all, but I had to redo a lot of it because I don't want to compromise on the glass. I mean, the glass should look good. So I'm in the final parts of this one, and then I got to do the other two. The other two I think are going to be a little easier because Legomas, or Legomas, however you're supposed to say that, he's already centered in his, and the same thing with Elos is also already centered. Elos, the problem is everything around the character is going to be interesting to do. So that's going to take that's going to take some figuring out. Like that one's going to take me a while, but this one is almost done. So I don't know whether it's interesting to watch me finish doing this or not. Let's turn the halos off. Oh, you know what? There's not a ton to do, but you'll see what the work is. So each of these, if we look, here's all the glass for Sheoldred. So there's the glass on. Each of these is a different part that I've had to go through and basically essentially redo. So now I'm on the final part, which is very specific parts of this glass have to be removed. So yeah, it's very specific elements. So basically that's me coming in with an eraser, and you know what? That's the wrong eraser, clearly. Let me turn the colors off. The colors do not help with something like this, so we'll turn Sheoldred off. Now we're here. Let's go ahead and give this a nice dark background. Not black, but close. See? It gives a nice, it highlights the parts I have to get rid of pretty well. So this is where I have to come in and get rid of this stuff to line everything up. So, whoops. So yeah, this is all, some people probably could do this a lot faster in Photoshop using a selection tool. But honestly, I have found that it takes about the same amount of time. And the only problem with working in Photoshop is, it's not really a problem, but I find that I'm faster to fix little issues that I discover with just doing it by hand as opposed to using a mouse and keyboard for whatever reason. And I couldn't really tell you why that is. It's just the way that it is. So this is not going to make a lot of sense looking at it like that. Actually, I can use the big thing for this because that's all going, right? Let's just check. Definitely all going. Okay, so what we just need to do is I need to bullet out. That's not a big deal there, but I need to have a little bit of glass on the outside. So these are all individual glass layers, which I have. Let me just check something on that one. Did I not do glass for that? Hold on. It doesn't look, do I have a layer not turned on, or did I forget that I didn't do glass for something? Geez, I think I forgot to do glass for something. Well, that's okay. That's the benefit of checking, is apparently I did not do glass for... Oh, wait. No, wait. Did I make it as part of the shell glass? Hold on. No, I did not. I did not do shell glass. That's the halo glass. You know what? No, let's just stick with what we got. Yeah, see, this is the real problem with doing stuff like this, is you just keep finding things that you did wrong. You're just constantly finding little things. Like there, I bought those X's. I shouldn't have done that. So what I'm going to do is to not spend 2 hours on this. I'm going to use a very simple method to fix that. I'm going to take this layer. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to turn the original off. And now I'm going to stretch this layer using the liquefy tool. And that still creates the same idea, which is these layers of glass. Well, I don't particularly... Yeah, that's good. I'll use that. And then I'm going to need one over here. So we'll just do a little bit of that liquefy effect. But I want those striations so you can see it. Perfect. That's it. I got it. So now we'll take our giant paint tool, because the only place I need that, let's verify, as far as I can tell, is on the outer shell. So that's this one. So all we have to keep is this inner part right here, and the rest can go. So this is going to be pretty quick. Okay, well, I got to get a little tighter there. But see, this is basically what I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 days, is these types of small things where I'll realize, oh, I missed something, oh, I missed something, oh, I missed something, or I forgot. There was one thing, I somehow bafflingly erased a layer that I spent a long time on. It was just, but it's my fault. It was, you know, it's, with this many layers, you got to be real. And then see, I'll find problems like that. See that little white bit right there? That's got to go. Now that I've seen it, it's got to go. So that's in the Sheoldred layer. No, that would be in, yes, that would be in the Sheoldred layer. No, it wouldn't. It would be in the line work layer, I think. Oh, no, it would be white. So white would be in black shell. Okay. So I got to go to the teeth, and I got to get the small brush. I got to get rid of that, because that will drive me up a wall. There's some more. See? All these little things that you don't notice till you're up close. Oh, maddening. All right. Turn the black shell off. Or no, we'll leave the black shell on. Let's jump back to this. That's the right one. Let's jump back to our big eraser, and we will continue here. So all I'm leaving is that one, that kind of outer shell part, which you would almost call her shell hips or something. I don't even know what you would term that part, but that's where I'm going with it. Let's get that little bit right there, which is not easy with a giant brush, but that's okay. And we're going to go right into here, and I got to keep... do I need to keep... No, I don't, because the white one and this one I think is in there. It is, so I do not need to keep this inner ring. That can go. I mean, honestly, I could probably not even do this well. Meaning, I could do this and not even pay this much attention, but I really don't want to be that sloppy. I really don't. If I'm going to have people paying for something, I want to at least know from my end that I did it properly. You know, I could be lazy, and I could just say, oh, nobody's going to see it, and it's, you know, if they buy it and they see it later, what do I care? I ain't going to do that. I can't really, you know, I can't do that. So this is a lot of what this work is, just to translate this into a shirt design. It's not as easy as just cutting and pasting, because it just would not have looked right. It wouldn't have. I tested a couple times. I looked at it and I'm like, nah, that's no good. That's not gonna. Now I do want to look at the what do you call it? Sheoldred's actual skin tone in there. I think I'm gonna leave that white. I kind of like that, because the black shell. I think the shell. If I turn it back, where's the shell glass? Oh, shell glass. I think I did 50% on those. Let me double check that. Oh, no, that one's at max. That's 49%, and that's 50%. Okay. I don't know why that one's at 49 if not 50. Not that it really matters. 1% is not something any normal human's going to notice, but I'll know it. So, okay, so we're going to drop this to 50% so that it lines up with the other ones. Yep, that looks much better because it's faded out a little bit. So now we'll chump this back up. So we know we've got the outer... I'm going to turn this stuff off. Let me turn this other glass off just to not confuse myself. Colors are fine, but the glass... I'm going to turn Sheoldred off too. It's a lot easier to see it like this. I can't believe I really can't believe I did that. Except, yes, I can. Of course I can believe I did that. I did it. Why would I not believe that I would do something that's stupid and not include that? I don't know. So this is, yeah, this will be up as a t-shirt design because, like I said, the card version just, to me, it just does not look good for it. So rather than put up, again, a design that I just don't think looks good, I really am, I'm just not comfortable doing that. It just would bother me to put up a shirt design of something of my work that I wouldn't even want to wear. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to, is I actually intend, once this shirt design is done, I intend to buy it. I have a piece of published work that I can actually wear around. Why would I put up one that I wouldn't buy? That I wouldn't want to wear? That just makes no sense. Because I see some of these t-shirt designs, I'm sort of baffled by them. And I guess whatever. People buy anything. sometimes, but there are shirts where you can tell that what they did was they just took a piece of existing work, hopefully their own, and just tossed it up on a shirt without really considering how it looked. And that's just not really something I'm too okay doing. So, thus, this is going to be done this way. Which, don't get me wrong, it was kind of nice for not having touched this artwork for a very long time. I don't even know how many months I think I worked on it for maybe 3 months. I can't remember the exact time frames. But, don't go that far in. I need that part. I think I need that part. Let's verify. I definitely need that center portion. That's why there wasn't an X. Genius. But, yeah, not having looked at this artwork in a while, it's kind of nice to go back to it. And, don't get me wrong, I saw some flaws. There's one flaw I found in one of those cards. And I'm never not going to see it. I'm never not going to see that flaw. But honestly, nobody else seems to care. And it's probably something that if you're not really looking for... I'm not going to point it out. Let's put it like that. I'm not going to bring it to anybody's attention. Because I don't want people to see what to me is a pretty glaring flaw. But again, it might not be to other people. So why make it one if nobody else is seeing it? Maybe it is just me being overly critical of my own work, which I do a lot. And the reality is the reception to these images has been largely very good, and people have seemed to enjoy them. So I'm just going to shut up and be happy that people like seeing my work, as opposed to my normal inclination, which is to seek out what I've done wrong. I'm not going to do that. I've got the bottom glass, yes. But I noticed it right away and I went, oh, how did I not see that? I know why, because when you're doing this stuff, I was so locked into just making sure that I made the deadlines, that I, accomplished what they wanted the pieces to look like, that was my main focus. And honestly, even with that flaw, the piece that I'm thinking of with the flaw, even with that flaw, I am very happy with how it still came out. It's just that now I see something and I go, if I'd only noticed it. If I'd only noticed it a few days before I sent it in. But you know what? Not going to complain. Not going to complain. I have a published work, several. I have 3 pieces that people will actually be using, that my artwork will actually be in the wild, which is just, it's extraordinarily hard for me to comprehend that that's a reality. I've spent so much of my life under the acceptance that my work would never really be seen by anybody, that to have it in a form where many people will see it is just wild. It's just wild. I don't know how else I can phrase the mindset that I'm in with it, and to finally be able to talk about it, because I have, really the only person who's known about it is my wife, honestly. Even Lando, I really didn't tell him anything because, I was trying to be faithful to the NDA I had signed. When I sign stuff, it's not just kind of a, whatever. I had such a great experience with this company that I didn't want to jeopardize anything, so I've kept my mouth shut, which is really tough, because I'm sure when there are artists who do this kind of work all the time, and those people, I'm sure it's a lot easier because, okay, you've got published work out, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. You always want to see your work, but you kind of know the drill, and your stuff's around, and people can see things in the meantime, so I don't think it's probably as bad. But yeah, for me, it was not easy. All right, I think I finally have this where I want it. Let's see. Do I have all the portions covered? Oh, I do have to invert. Let's turn this back on. So I'm going to have to invert this one, except that you can't see it on the black part. Oh, I know why. Actually, why is that? Let me think about that. Why is that so hard to see there? It should still be... Oh, no, because those are black, so you wouldn't see anything because they're dark. Okay, no, never mind. I'm fine. Okay, so that's where I want it. Okay, the black parts, yeah, that's fine. So I think I finally have everything covered now. That may be the end of this. As far as this portion goes, is everything covered? It does appear that I didn't do the teeth on purpose, so that's... So, man, I think I got it where I want it, unbelievably. That will basically be the shirt design here. I'll give you the background in white so you can see what I'm talking about. But that will be the actual shirt design, more or less. The only other thing I got to do is I've got to do the purple shell coloring, which is not a huge deal. I just have to do it. But that will be the only other... Oh, and that will mean that I will turn off the black armor. And I will replace that with the what I call the bone armor, which if you look back here, in this lighter one, you see I did these lighter tones. So there will be a set... That will be the lighter tone variant. All the same with the purple, and then that bone color for the armor. Because I think that's still an appealing design. It's just different. It's just not what they wanted for the final, which is fine. It's just that's... this was not what they wanted for the final version. So anyway, okay. So that will be what I will do probably in the next few days. So I will be having... So these two shirt designs should go up relatively quickly. But let's not look at this anymore. Let's go back to our alley rat. And we'll go ahead and turn vertical for this. We'll do a little bit more work on the alley rat tonight, because I could use a break from looking at Sheoldred as well, because I've been looking at her for a while. So let's take a break from that and go back in here. And I believe that was this pen. Or maybe it was this pen. Let's take a look. Oh, it's that one. I can tell by the thickness. Okay. And I'm liking the way this is coming out. So this is good. Take a break from Sheoldred. I'll get back to her. Let's do something else for a little bit here. So let's see. Let's see where we are. We got Bub's hair and most of his head done. Let's go ahead and go into his mouth. All right. So let's do some teeth. And this is, I think it's nice to see actual drawing on this, as opposed to just doing the Sheoldred stuff, which is fun enough, don't get me wrong. I like doing it. But do some actual drawing, too, just to take a break from constantly coloring something in. Let's see. Hairline is up there, so let's go ahead and use the hairline layer for the mouth. And we'll just do the mouth. Here we are. Okay, let's go back to our... And I never switched layers. Genius. I just basically turned the layer on and off to verify it wasn't going to overlap. But I never actually turned it off. There we go. Let's go back to our teeth, and let's draw some teeth in here. And if you've never seen Day of the Dead, my favorite of the Romero Dead movies, even though I absolutely recognize why most people think Dawn is the best one, I'm very particular today, mostly because of the characters. I like the characters in it. There's just some fun characters in that movie. But that's just me. You can like whatever one you want. And it's not the wrong answer. In fact, it's the right answer. Okay. So now we're going to do the eyes. I'm going to do the eyes a little differently than I have them. Basically the same, but I'm going to do a little bit of a different thing with them in here. There we go. And then we'll do this. You know what? I actually want his actual eyes to have a pure circular look to them. So let's stick with that. Do this. Give that a little texture there. Of course, I screwed it up right at the end. Do that again. That's okay. This doesn't have to be perfect. Just want to give it a little dip. Okay, so now the actual eyes, I want to actually make circles. Now, not this part. The outer part, I'm just going to use kind of a crescent shape or a partial like that. I'll do the same thing here. Because I feel like the eyes are kind of an important part. So I actually want those to have that nice symmetry to them. I want them to have a clean curve to them. So, and then the actual eyes, now obviously you're not going to see this much of them when I'm done, but I want those to actually be correct circles. Yeah, there we go. They look goofy right now because you see all of them, but they won't once they're in place. And there we are. So let's go ahead and merge that down. Let's get our eraser out. Which eraser? That's the big eraser. Of course, on this image, it's not as big. And let's knock those eyes down to their proper size. There we go. Now they don't look as weird. And now we've got to do Bub's shirt. So let's get a new layer here. Let's get our pen back. A neck and shirt, I should say. So let's do his, whoops, not that. Let's do his neck. Comes down. I can probably jump back to, yeah, I can use this layer again. I don't have to use a new layer every single time. And we're going to do this in, let's see, how do we want to do this? We'll do this sharp because it's got to go behind him. So we have the shirt collar come up, and we do a sharp thing there because it's got to go behind his head. And then back here, we simply, let me just check something. Yes. We will just erase like that. Or not erase, but we'll come like that. Okay. And then we can use this layer for the actual shirt. For that. And this, give it some crumples because he's a zombie, therefore probably not getting his shirts pressed or anything. Okay, so we've got that there, and I'm going to actually put a sticker, because this is for the Hat Hole Home Video Alley Rat, I'm going to have a Hat Hole rental sticker. So let's put another layer here. And let's go ahead and... how do I want to do this? Let me think about it. Let me think about this for 1 second. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. Because I don't want to have it be a, well, you know what? Let me take a look at something. Oh, jeez, didn't mean to accidentally hit the keyboard. Let's have a look at something very quickly here. Let's take a look for, let's say, VHS store rental sticker. Just want to get some inspiration. Looking at some actual stickers. Yeah, most of them were circles. Ooh, you know what I like? Hold on, I'm just looking. Yeah, see, I don't want to just do the peel. I mean, everybody does that now. That's sort of just a known thing, which is perfectly fine, but everybody does it, therefore I don't want to do it. So they were all just circles. Oh, no, there's one. There's one that was a, huh. Ooh, I kind of like that one. Interesting. Ooh, yeah, because it's, okay, so it's basically a horizontal sticker that also has the rating on it. We're going to go with that. I like that. We're going to go with that formatting. So we will have a horizontal sticker. This is a clean layer, correct? Yes. So we're going to go with a clean, we're going to go with the horizontal sticker, which I imagine with the condition of the box, it wouldn't be too radically, you know, wrecked. About there. Let's go ahead and just duplicate that, and we'll move that down. That's our sticker. Okay, and then we'll give it a kind of edge. Oops, not that kind of edge, though. Do this. Have a little chip in it there, just a little bit of like peeling at the corners. Okay, that looks fine. And then we'll come over here, and we'll do the same thing here. And maybe we will have this peeled back a little, but not, you know, not where you can see the peel itself, but just to make it look like the corner got a little crushed off or rubbed off or something like that. You know what? Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's put a little piece of that right there so that indicates that the sticker was, well, no, that's too much. So what we'll do is, let's do that much. Let's create a nice big chunk out of that. And it'll make it look like somebody attempted to kind of peel it off and didn't get it all the way off. Okay, but I don't like that. I don't like it intersecting the other line. There we go. See, like that? Just a little bit of wear. And then what I'll do is I'll probably use an actual font in there. So instead, I don't do, hand lettering is not really my strength, so I'm not going to try to do it because I know I ain't going to do it very well. So, but that's going to essentially say Hat Hole Home Video, you know, the highest rental fees around, and then I'll have the R rating there and put a nice dividing line. I kind of like that sticker idea. So well, you know what I'll do is, let me just so I have the placeholder. I like the placeholder of it so I can remind myself what the hell I was doing, but I don't want to put it on the sticker level. So I'm just going to do that really quick just to take that off. And I didn't realize that was in, that's the upper layer. So actually that's already there. So now that should just be that. Yes. Let's merge that down. Oh, nope. Don't do it when it's invisible though, dummy. Otherwise you basically have an invisible line. There we go. So there's that. Okay, got it. So let's take a look at our reference materials again. Yeah, because Day of the Dead, I mean, there's some zombies in the background. I don't know if I'm even going to bother with them. So I can replicate that font. So I can replicate this font right here. But I'll do that actually as a font so it looks, because if I try to letter it, it's not going to look right, and I won't offset it right. So I'll do that actually in Photoshop later. But basically, we're where we need to be with this. I'm going to keep those references just for the colors. I do want to color Bub. So Bub will have some of his color. I do want to keep that accurate. Okay, so do we have all the line work? The line work's done. That's it. The line work is finished. So for the VHS box. Actually, that's the last component, now that I think that. Okay, so now we got to go in and let's start chopping some lines. Because obviously, we got to chop some lines here. So let's take a look. That's all fine. That we got to chop a little bit. Let's go to our small eraser. We're going to chop that. And where else? What else is on that level? Oh, that's got to go. Got to chop that. And we got to chop that. Okay. And where are my teeth? Let's get the teeth done. Ooh, lots of chopping on the teeth. Teeth layer, I should say. Oh, I can turn the sketches off right now. Just so I have a nice clean look at what I'm doing. None of that's there. Any of this? No, no. The teeth themselves, we'll do this, and this, and this. So yeah, I'm really happy with the fact that those cards are out and people seem to actually really enjoy them. Because you don't know. I mean, just because the art director at Wizards liked it, I mean, it is a really different style than a lot of Magic cards traditionally are. A lot of art, Magic art is traditional painting, which I just don't do. I don't do a lot of traditional painting stuff. So I didn't know when they came out, if people were like, this sucks. This is not what Magic is. Because people get very defensive of the stuff that they like and the style that they're used to. So it would not have surprised me at all if they had not really been too keen on it. But honestly, I'm not going to say everybody likes it, but so far, if people don't like it, they're not being mean and saying it, which isn't being mean. You know what? It really wouldn't. It would bother me if everybody hated it. I'm not going to pretend that wouldn't make me go, boy, they are going to never want to work with me again because everybody hates this. Yeah, that would have bothered me if there was nobody who liked it. But the fact that there's even a few people who've said things like, oh, I've been collecting for years, I really like this card, you know, that's fine for me. That's enough. It doesn't have to be people saying it's the greatest card around. They're obviously not going to say that, and I don't expect them to say that. But the fact that there are people who've collected for a while and they like it, that to me is, okay, I accomplished what I was trying to do, which was make a piece of artwork that is a good representation of my abilities and people don't hate it. Or at least, you know, most people don't seem to hate it. Because I really didn't know. I really, really had no clue how it would be received. I mean, again, Magic is a lot of people have been like, wow, you got to do a Magic card. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty incredible because I really never expected that. So I really was not sure what the reception would be like. Because you just don't know when it's artwork with that kind of history of artists involved. It's very tough to tell. So I cannot complain. The work seems to be being received fairly well. And I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. I did not. Oh, I thought I had more time for that. Sorry. I hope that wasn't too loud. I tried to turn my head. Sorry about that. I was not intending to sneeze that loud. I'm sorry. I do apologize if I blew your ears out. It was not on purpose. I felt it too fast to be able to do anything but turn my head. If I'd had a little bit more time on it, I would absolutely have hit the mute button, but my hands were both on the iPad and I didn't want to drop it and risk breaking it. So, because otherwise there's no more streams. Because I don't know how I would stream otherwise. Where's that line? That's one line, isn't it? There it is. Okay, let's get that. But, yeah, so very exciting for me. And I don't play Magic myself, so I can't even use my own card, or at least I wouldn't know what to do with it. But I'm going to buy some packs of it, and I'll ask people to keep an eye that I know out for it that do play. And if they get a duplicate of it, then I can have it. So I'll frame the ones I've got, but I would love to have one that's an actual play card, because I could put it next to the artist proof in like a frame or something. So yeah, pretty neat. Okay, so oh, I missed some. Where are those lines at? Let's find. There they are. Let's get you, so that you're not cutting into the rat, and you, and then I need to find the inner circle, which is right there, or inner chin line, whatever we want to call it. There we are. And we have now cleaned up those lines. Oh, not all of them though. Sorry. One moment. Bear with me. There we are. Let's clean that up. I don't actually know what the side of that box looks like. Was that a box that I saw? It really doesn't matter, I don't think. Well, let's just find out. Let's take a look for Day of the Dead. Whoops, let's spell it right. VHS box. Let's see if anybody's got a picture of one that I can take a look from the side. Or I like the Zombie 2 one. That's a nice box. Doesn't look like it. Or at least not one that's the same as... Oh, here we go. Oh, it's just that. Okay. Well, no, that's not. That's a Blu-ray box. But it's probably similar. They probably molded it after it. I'm not going to worry about it. Not important. That's fine. Not vital. If I don't get the box right, it'll be fine. But what I am going to do, now that I just thought of that after I erased that line. Okay, is that the right layer? No. Where is the correct layer? I'm just going to extend that. Let's just assume that the box art just keeps going. Why not? It's my drawing. I can do what I want. So let's just angle, but I will angle it because it would be a little more angled than that. So on the box, if it was bent a little bit, it would be something like that. So we'll just do that. So there. That continues it. And I'll probably put some kind of type on the side there, and I'll maybe distress it a little bit, something like that. Okay, so oh, I didn't get the bottom of the box. Where's the bottom of the box? Gotta get that line. Those have to be foundational lines. Yep, there they are. Where is that box line? Well, let's do this one first. I'm right here. So let's get rid of that. Okay, and let's look for that other box line. Where are you, other box? Whoop, I just saw you. There you are. Okay, let's get rid of you. There we are. Okay, and I think that's... Oh, what's this? I didn't get rid of that one yet. That's down here, I think. Yep, that's it. Goodbye. And goodbye. Goodbye. I could be masking these, but honestly, for something like this, I'm not too worried about. If I have to redo it, I have my sketch. It will not take me that long. I already know that, so I'm not going to worry too much about masking. I do have to start getting better about that, though. I really do. I recognize that the way I work is... I lost a lot of time because of that. On the, you know what? I wonder if I should put those lines on his face. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Let's sample this color. Kind of like that blue. What I'm going to do... I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do too much of it yet. I think I'm going to probably stop streaming in the next 10 minutes or so. But that's okay. So let's do we're going to do a couple more colors. Let's make a group. We're going to call this... Hello. Did I not hit rename? There we go. Bub color. No, not big. Bub colors. All right, bub. Can't do the doctor's voice. Wish I could. Can't do any of the major characters in that movie's voice too well. I have to admit. Brian from Hat Hole Home Video can probably do a better job than me. I can't do it. So what we need. Let me take a look at that reference one more time. Yeah, that's what I thought. So the inner. Let's just mark some colors so I have an idea. Let's X that. Let's sample the other color. Just so I don't have to keep coming back to this too often. I like that green. We're going to X that green in here on the inner part, which is also going to be... I'm not going to go too crazy on this. I'm not going to, you know, block everything out. And then his eyes are going to be this red. It's a very nice red. So let's shoot up another layer. And that's so his irises are actually black. So we want to do the X's there. And is there any color in his eyes? Nope, they're going to be pure black. Okay. Well, I can do black's easy. We got black. So black is actually going to be very simple. In fact, we'll do it right now. We're going to black them eyes right out. I'm not going to bother with a little shininess. As I said, this is not going to be highly accurate. It's just going to be a fun piece. There we go. What's the inside of his mouth look like? It's probably black too, right? Oh, yeah. Black, his hair. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with the hair yet. I'll probably just, I'm just going to make it black. You know what? I'll make it partially black. Yeah, because on the box it's just the same color, because obviously this is painted. You can tell just looking at it, somebody painted that. It's a beautiful painting too. I really like that. So I'm going to make it the dark color. Okay, got it. So let's turn off the references. Let's jump into the Bub sketch real quick. And on this layer, we're going to go ahead and make some shadow lines right about where this part of the shadow is right here. So we're going to go ahead and we'll make it... Take a look at that reference photo one more time. I'm just curious where the actual shadow line is painted on there. He painted the shadow line under. Okay, so I'll do the same thing. He or she, I actually don't know. I have no idea the name of that artist, but that's a great painting, so I should find out to reference it correctly. So we will do this, and we will just do that. And that is going to be our shadow line. You know what? It's too close to the sun line. Got to go further down. I don't like lines being close to each other like that. So and I don't like that at all. So we're going to do this like that. That I can live with. Okay. Oh, no. Ooh, that's the heavy eraser. Okay. No, I can't live with that. That doesn't look good to me. Hold on. I'll get it right. I think I just have to do something like that. Ah, that's bugging me. Hold on. You know why? Because it's going up too sharply. I know why. So what I need to do is have it flow backwards like this. That, nope, still doesn't look right to me. Hold on. I'll get it. That's it. Yep, that's it. Sometimes it's just that little angle. It's really not even a huge thing. It's just small stuff. But if it's not right, at least for me, I can't not notice it. So this is going to fill in with black too. So we're just going to fill this right in right now, because that's going to be black, and then I'll use the color. We'll use this dark color right there. That's going to be the hair up here. It's also going to be this shadow line. It's going to be, let's see, let me think about that. Let me look at that really quick. Where's the darkest part? Outer. That's what I figured, but always good to check. So outer part will be dark. Inner part will be light. This, which will probably, let me see, were the teeth a different color, or were they just kind of an off-white color? I'm guessing they're off-white. They're kind of they're the lighter color. You know what? We'll do both. Why not? Why not actually put a little bit of realism? So the bottom teeth have more light in them, so we're going to just mark these like this. And then the upper teeth, which are under the lip, are going to be darker. In fact, I can just basically do them because it's not hard. Not a lot to do with this. Do that. But I'll show you what I'm going to mess with as far as the actual face, not with the teeth. But as far as these parts, what I think I'm going to do, even though it's going to look a little weird, is I think I'm going to, I don't know, maybe it'll look too odd. I was going to say I may just do something like this where the tapers come up and try to create some of that line work. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I don't really care if it looks weird. I kind of like the way it looks. Just sort of space these out a bit like that. Yeah, I think that's going to look interesting. May not look good, but it'll look interesting. But I will, you know what I will do is I'm going to separate the layers out just in case I decide I hate it. Let's go ahead and let's make sure that we separate these out, because that's really an experiment, and I want to be able to just destroy it if I don't like it. So let's keep that separate. Oops, sorry, wrong layer. Okay, hold on, make sure I did the right one. I did. Okay. So yeah, that's my idea though, is to use those tapers. That might look interesting. Now, that may look interesting only right there, so I may only do them in certain spots. But regardless, I like it. I think that taper pen's getting fun. I'm trying to figure out how to employ it properly, because I don't want to use it on everything, but there are times like this where I feel like, okay, that's a legitimately good usage, because it'll still convey all the lines of Bub's face without making it look too realistic or too detailed, which is what I'm trying not to do. I don't want this to be overly detailed. I want this to be more of just kind of a pure fun thing. But that taper brush may work really well for that. Now I can use a big brush for this. I could actually use a paintbrush for this because, yeah, this is just a big black area. And that will also be the interior of the ear. Well, I think, yeah, I went too far on that. So let's switch back to the brush. Or, sorry, pen. Let's do the ear is going to also be black, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then the outer part of the ear, I think I'll just make a dark blue. And I'll finish my color markings, and that's probably a good place to wrap up for tonight. So let's do this really quick. Let's jump to our color layers. Oh, well, whatever. I'll figure that out. Oh, wait, no, let's do the right one. So it's this one, even though I just realized I didn't erase everything on the other ones. So that's going to be that. That'll be black down there. And then this will be, well, let's take a quick look. Yeah, we'll do a black layer. So what we'll do is, let me do this real quick. I'm going to go back to the bub layer. Go to this one. Let's grab our brush. Let's black it out. We're going to make a shadow there. So we'll do this. Okay. We'll erase that. And erase that. And I think that's where we'll wrap it up for tonight, because my hand is now starting to ache on me because I've been doing a lot of stuff. So, yeah, that's where we're going. We'll keep going. I like this so far. So we're going to keep going on this. And on the YouTube channel, let me switch this off really quick. On the YouTube channel, I have, what's the word for it? I have posted the time lapses for at least one of those images, one of the card images, so you can see that there. And yeah, I'm going to get that. Oops, I just filled something with black. I didn't mean to. I'm going to be working on those shirt designs, so I will let everybody know on probably Twitter, and I'll probably talk about it on here. Oh, you know, actually, I like that better. Once I've got those done. But, yeah, and I'm starting to also get a little warm from sitting here because it is warm. So this is a good time to take a break. And thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful weekend since it is Friday, so have a wonderful weekend. And, yeah, I'll be talking more about the cards on the show and probably on here. And I hope if any of you are Magic fans, you go and take a look at them and let me know, hey, what you think of them, because I'd actually be curious, genuinely curious. And I don't mind if you don't like them. You can say you don't like them. All right, everybody, have a wonderful Friday, and talk to you on the next stream. Good night, or good morning, or good afternoon. Whatever it is, wherever it is, have a good weekend.